So this is a video if you want to use the graphing calculator to explore the tortoise and the hare scenario in lesson 1.5. As a reminder, I'm going to go to y equals to enter in my equations. Now you might have some things typed in there. So for example, if you had 3x, you just need to go up and press clear on the different equations to clear out the ones that you had. And so we had two relationships. We had the tortoise, which was x squared. So, and then the tortoise was 2 to the x power. Now um, I know in the lesson it was using t, but the graphing calculator is going to use x. So again, the x button is right next to the green alpha. Squared is on the right hand side, or on the left hand side. The exponent caret button is on the right hand side. And so your window might be different. My window right now is the default negative 10 to 10, negative 10 to 10. And so we can see the parabola and then the exponential curve. And it's difficult to see what's going on. And also we don't need negative distance and negative time. So as a reminder, you can go to the window to explore, and try different things in terms of values. So for example, minimum time, so my x values 0 seconds, and let's say I go out for 30 seconds. And then we'll just count by threes. And then in terms of the distance, we're not going to have negative distance, so we'll go 0 meters, and let's just say it's a 100-meter dash. And we'll count by tens. And so if I press graph, you can see that I can see both the parabola and the exponential curve, but it's hard to see really what's going on. And if you think about the table that you generated, a lot of the action happened within the first 5 to 10 seconds. So choosing a 30-second race might not be the best option. So adjusting your window accordingly. So let's go 0 to 5 seconds. We'll count by ones. And in terms of my distance, 0 to, let's just say 30 meters. And we'll count by fives. So now if I press graph, I can see one graph and then the other. I can see it sort of starting to bypass. All right, so the tortoise starting out in front and then falling behind and then passing back up again. If you want to explore the table, just as a reminder, I can press second graph to get to the table option, and I can see my different values in the table. And then finally, one last feature that I just wanted to point out is when I'm back on the graph, if I press the trace button, I can scroll back and forth on a graph. Now, back or up in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, I see y1 equals x squared, which was the hare's graph. So you can see that I am tracing the hare's graph. And so when I get to a certain amount of time, so one of the questions was 15 meters, who gets there first? And so in that scenario, if I look to y being 15, I can see that the hare was there in about 3.88 seconds. Now you might be wondering, well, how can I explore the tortoise graph? Well, if I just press up or down, you can see that it jumped me to the next graph, y2, 2 to the x power, so that was the tortoise's graph, and I can again trace back and forth. And I'm going to try to get to approximately 15. Now I'm at 15.3. Now if I go back actually one tick mark, 3.88 seconds, you can see that the tortoise was at a distance of 14.75. So the hare, in the same amount of time, got there faster. So hopefully that helps with your calculator.